Alright, we are back for UFC Fight Night Ian Garry vs Carlos Prates. In this video you will find out which fighters are picked the most by the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube, which fighters are picked the most by the best predictors, by the Tapology Community, and what their odds are for all 14 fights on this card. And we start with the first one. Opening the prelims is a women's bantamweight fight between Chandler and Joselyne Edwards. With minus 310 in average odds, Joselyne Edwards is the favorite. And the underdog Chandler with plus 245. 89% of the Tapology community have picked Joselyne Edwards to win this fight. And most are predicting she will win by a decision. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, Joselyne is even a bigger favorite. 68 out of 70 channels pick her to win for 97%. And the best predictors overall and the best favorite and underdog predictors all pick Joselyne Edwards to win. As a quick reminder, or for those new to the channel, the best predictor channels are highlighted in green. Dark green means they had a 7% or higher return on investment over the past 10 months, while light green means their ROI was below 7%. I also track the best predictors for favorites and underdogs separately. Best favorite predictors have the highest ROI based only on their picks for betting favorites, and best underdog predictors had the highest ROI based only on their picks for underdogs. For a full breakdown of the best predictors, check out the 10 months results video. The next fight is in the featherweight division between Timmy Cuamba and Roberto Romero, and in odds this fight is pretty close. Romero is the small favorite with minus 125 and with plus 105 Timmy the small underdog. But in picks by the Tapology community, Roberto Romero is a pretty decent favorite. 76% of them predict that he will win this fight, and most think via decision. He's also the favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels with 48 out of 72, or 2/3. And we see the exact same results with the best predictors over the last 10 months, and 2/3 of them have predicted Romero wins this fight. 6 out of 8 of the best favorite predictors pick the favorite Romero, and 3 out of 11 of the best underdog predictors pick the underdog Timmy to win. Up next is a fight in the women's strawweight division between Jaqueline Amorim and Polyana Viana. With minus 875 in average odds, Jaqueline Amorim is the biggest favorite in odds on this card. And the underdog Polyana has plus 570. Jaqueline is a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology community, and 93% of them have predicted she will win, and most likely via submission. She's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 70 out of 71 have picked her to win, and only one channel has picked Viana, which is the MMA Mystic. The best predictors overall and the best favorite predictors all pick the favorite Jaqueline, and only one of the best underdog predictors pick Viana to win. The next fight is in the bantamweight division between Saaiman and Wellmaker, who is making his UFC debut. With minus 118, the newcomer is the small favorite, and Cameron the underdog with minus 103 in average odds, making this the closest fight in odds on this card. And also in picks by the Tapology community, it's pretty close. 55% pick Wellmaker to win and 45% for Saaiman, making this the closest fight in picks by the Tapology community on this card. And most of them expect if Wellmaker wins it will be via KO or TKO, and if Saaiman wins via decision. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, it's not so close. 47 out of 73 pick Wellmaker to win for 64%. But when we look at the best predictors over the last 10 months, they go against the Oddsmakers, the Tapology community and the YouTube Prediction Channels. And most of them, 6 out of 9, pick Saaiman to win. When we look at the best predictors on favorite fighters in odds, it's 50-50, with 4 out of 8 for each. And 5 out of 11 of the best underdog predictors have picked the underdog Saaiman. The next fight is in the featherweight division between the Blackshear and Alatengheili. With minus 505 in average odds, the Blackshear is the big favorite, and with plus 365, Alatengheili the underdog. With 96%, almost all of the Tapology community have picked the Blackshear to win this fight, making him the biggest favorite in picks by the Tapology community on this card. And most of them expect he will win via submission. The Blackshear is also the biggest favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels on this card, because all 71 channels that made predictions on this fight have picked the Blackshear to win for 100%, which automatically means that all the best predictors and best favorite and underdog predictors pick him to win as well for 100%. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful or informative, then don't forget to like this video or subscribe. Thank you so much. Up next, we go to the featherweight division for a fight between Gutierrez and Castañeda. With minus 145, Gutierrez is the slight favorite and Castañeda with plus 120, the underdog. Although Gutierrez is not such a big favorite in odds, he is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community, with 85% of them picking him to win. And most are predicting this fight will go to the scorecards. Gutierrez is also the favorite, although less, in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 53 out of 73 channels pick him to win for 72.6%. But most of the best predictors over the last 10 months disagree and pick Castañeda to win, with 6 out of 9. With 4 out of 8 for the best favorite predictors, it's 50-50. And with 6 out of 11, the underdog Castañeda is a small favorite in picks by the best underdog predictors. The next fight is between Even Elder and Gao Xiong, who is making his UFC debut in the lightweight division. With minus 200 in average odds, Even Elder is the favorite, and with plus 165, Gao Xiong the underdog. Elder is the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 88%, and most are expecting he will win via decision. And we see the same kind of results in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 60 channels out of 66 think Even Elder will win for 91%. 6 out of 7 of the best predictors and 5 out of 6 of the best favorite predictors pick the favorite Even Elder. And the underdog Gao Xiong is picked by the best underdog predictors, only 1 out of 9. The next fight and the last fight of the prelims is between Matt Schnell and Jimmy Flick in the flyweight division. The favorite fighter in odds is Matt Schnell with minus 195 and the underdog is Jimmy Flick with plus 160. In picks by the Tapology community, Matt Schnell is the favorite with 69%. And it's kinda 50-50 between a KO, TKO or a decision for how people are expecting Matt Schnell to win. 47 out of 72 channels pick Matt Schnell to win as well for 65%. The best predictors and the best predictors on favorite fighters over the last 10 months are a little bit more optimistic and pick Matt Schnell 6 out of 8 for 75%. And Jimmy Flick, the underdog, is picked by the best underdog predictors, only 2 out of 10 for 20%. Opening up the main card, we have a fight between Ikram Aliskerov and André Muniz in the middleweight division. Ikram is the big favorite with minus 570 in average odds, and André the underdog with plus 415. Aliskerov is a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 95%, and most of them expect he will win via KO TKO. And we see the same in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 71 out of 73 pick Aliskerov to win for 97%. And only 2 channels, Fresh Start MMA and Once Upon a Slugfest, have picked André Muniz. 7 out of 8 of the best predictors and the best favorite predictors pick Ikram Aliskerov to win. And none of the best underdog predictors pick André Muniz the underdog. So almost everyone has little faith in André Muniz to win this fight. Want to stay ahead with the latest picks, odds and stats for all fights while supporting the channel? Consider becoming a Buy Me a Coffee member or a Patreon supporter. After this video, every Friday and Saturday I update the latest stats with newly added picks from all UFC prediction channels, the best predictors and the most profitable favorite and underdog predictors. Updated odds, track how the betting lines shift daily. Tapology stats, see if the MMA community's picks are changing. Support the channel and get exclusive daily updates. Links are in the description. I'd really appreciate it. The next fight on the main card is in the welterweight division between Randy Brown and Nicholas Dalby. With minus 255, Randy Brown is the favorite, and the underdog Nicholas Dalby with plus 205. Randy Brown is picked 77% by the Tapology community, and most are expecting he will win via decision. But he's a much bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 64 out of 74 channels pick him to win for 86%. And in picks by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors, Randy Brown is picked 8 out of 8 for 100%. The underdog Nicholas Dalby is picked 3 out of 10 by the best underdog predictors. The next fight is in the middleweight division between Michel Pereira and Abus Magomedov. With minus 140, Michel is the slight favorite and Abus the underdog with plus 115. Michel Pereira is also the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 69%, and most of them are expecting he will win via KO TKO. And we see the same kind of result in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 53 out of 74 predict he will win for 72%. In picks by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors, Michel Pereira is a slightly bigger favorite with 7 out of 9 and 6 out of 8. And the best underdog predictors have picked the underdog Magomedov 3 out of 11. The next fight is in the featherweight division between Giga Chikadze and David Onama. The favorite is David Onama with minus 175 and the underdog is Giga with plus 145. Although Giga is the underdog, he is the favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 63% and most are expecting he will win via decision. However, most of the YouTube prediction channels disagree with the Tapology Community and agree with the Oddsmakers, and they pick David Onama 47 out of 74 for 63.5%. And David Onama is even a bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors over the last 10 months with 7 out of 9. And the best predictors on favorite fighters pick the favorite David Onama 8 out of 8 for 100%. And the underdog Giga Chikadze is picked by the best underdog predictors 4 out of 11. The co-main event of the evening is between Anthony Smith and Mingyang Xiang in the light heavyweight division. And Mingyang Xiang is the big favorite with minus 495 in average odds and Anthony Smith the underdog with plus 365. Xiang is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology Community with 94% and almost all of them predict he will win via KO TKO. And we see the same results in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 69 out of 74 pick Xiang to win for 93%. The best predictors and the best predictors on favorite fighters pick Xiang the favorite 7 out of 8. And the underdog Anthony Smith is picked by the best underdog predictors 0 out of 10. So, overall, it looks to be a rough night for Anthony Smith. And then, for the last fight of this card, we go to the main event for a fight in the welterweight division between Machado Garry and Carlos Prates. And this fight is pretty close in odds. Garry is the slight favorite with minus 130 in average odds and Prates the underdog with plus 105. And it's also very close in picks by the Tapology Community. Garry is the slight favorite with 56% and most have predicted he will win via decision. And 44% have picked Prates and most expect he will win via KO TKO. And again, it's also very close in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, although here Carlos Prates is the slight favorite with 41 out of 76 for 54%, making this the closest fight in picks by the YouTube prediction channels on this card. What about the best favorite predictors over the last 10 months? Most of them, with 6 out of 9, pick Carlos Prates to win this fight. And the favorite fighter in odds, Garry, is picked by the best favorite predictors 4 out of 8. And the underdog, Carlos Prates, is a big favorite in picks by the best underdog predictors with 8 out of 11. So, overall, the YouTube prediction channels disagree with the Tapology Community and the odds makers. Who do you have winning this fight? Let us know in the comments. What could be some good betting opportunities on this card? The first one is Joselyne Edwards. With minus 310 in average odds, she is a pretty big favorite. But with 8 out of 8, she is picked 100% by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors. So they have a lot of faith in her. But do you think it's enough for this price? And we kind of see the same thing with the next betting opportunity in Randy Brown. He's also the favorite, although a bit smaller with minus 255 in average odds. But he's also picked 100% by the best predictors and the best favorite predictors with 8 out of 8. The third best betting opportunity might be David Onama. He is the favorite with minus 175 in average odds, but he is a pretty big favorite in picks by the best predictors with 7 out of 9 and is picked 100% by the best predictors on favorites with 8 out of 8. And for the last potential best betting opportunity, we have an underdog in Carlos Prates. Although he is a small underdog with plus 105, he is picked by the best predictors 6 out of 9 for 67% and he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the best underdog predictors with 8 out of 11. So, what do you think are some of the best betting opportunities on this card? Let us know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this overview of all the fight picks. If you found it helpful, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel while getting exclusive updates, consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a member on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much for watching, have an awesome weekend, enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next video.